Okay, guys, good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Let me make sure my properties, yeah, we're good. All right, let me know if the sound's coming in smooth. NASDAQ dropped pretty significantly yesterday. We're going to talk about some of these stories. Put Apple up here. Apple's one of the big stories today. I think it recently got upgraded today. It's almost at 210s right now. You can see kind of the move it's made on the bottom chart. You can see the NASDAQ on the top. We put like the SPY up, maybe gold. There's the SPY. I cannot see the chat right now, so bear with me here for a second. We scheduled the stream for the right time today, right? I'm pretty sure we did. Also, let me know how the stream's running right now. To me, it says it's not dropping any frames. But I can always plug my Wi-Fi in if that's going to be better. And so that's kind of what we're looking at. There we go. All right, yeah, so I just checked the volume. Volume's good. Sound is good. What's up, Sam, Mag, Lee, CT, Jimmy, A, Alessa, Enrico, K, Jack, Ham. What's up, chat? All right, so we're in here. Today we got the non-farm employment change data, which is honestly really interesting data leading into the payrolls on really tomorrow. The payroll report is tomorrow. I keep forgetting. And so, yeah, we got some stuff going on. You know, I am shorting currently this in a challenge account. So it's a very small account. Like, we just jumped in this, but we'll see if we get funded really quick. This morning, we got a couple accounts that are pretty close to it. I'll probably hold this break even, but I will put full screen up so we can actually see it. Let me know how clean that is. Let's get some music going here. As long as it doesn't boot me out. There you go. Good. All right, so we're up a little bit. I'm going to try to hold this break even. We have 6 contracts. I'm getting the music coming right now. A bit of old school music here. But now we're flat. Now we're down a little bit. Can y'all hear the music? Might not be loud enough. I mean, I should turn it up a little bit. Yeah, so this current account that I'm trading, I am up like 1,600, so I got to make like 1,400 if I want to get funded. So these are all pretty small. I think it's almost a little bit too obvious of a short, though, because like we're obviously in a downward trend. We're obviously rebounding a little bit, but I think we could also make a plight up to that. There we go. That's better. We're gonna immediately take a piece of that off right there. I think we could also make a plight up to that 200 exponential, but we are gonna lock in if we keep breaking down like this. There we go. What's up, Beach? What's up, Camille? Y'all can't hear the music? Is the stream monetized? Yes. Y'all can't hear the music? Just a bit low? Okay, I got you. All right, so we're in this trade. We took some profit. It's not going to be a red trade now. We could probably just wait on it. I have to go get my coffee in a second, but we're in this trade short. I mean, I want to see if it falls a little bit more, but all right, so the Senate's passage of the major tax and cut spending bill yesterday. Let me make sure. All right, so we're up a couple contracts. Let's see if we can capitalize on this. There we go. It's a little bit better. I do like this drop. I'm going to cut right there. Terrible fills though, man. Yeah, you can kind of see when was this? This was yesterday. Market pulled back while we were on stream yesterday. And then kind of slowly rebounded back up. We're kind of flat. We're basically where we were yesterday. Yeah, so we got the ADP payroll preview on tap ahead of the official June non-farm payroll report Thursday tomorrow. We got Tesla Q2 deliveries today. I completely forgot about Tesla delivery numbers. We got Tesla Q3 or Q2 delivery numbers today. I completely forgot. I completely forgot about the deliveries. Let's put Tesla up here. We got Tesla deliveries today, man. Okay, we're Tesla kind of needs a good number here too, because it is at Tesla has pulled back pretty significantly all the way down to 300. All right, look at this big dip right here. Wow. All right. So Challenger layoffs came in at 48,000. Previously was 93. 48K for Challenger layoffs. That dropped about 3 minutes ago. I don't think that's what's causing this dip, but look at this big drop. Wow. Something happened. Let me see if we can figure it out. So yeah, Challenger layoff came in at 48K, 47.999 thousand. I don't think that's what's causing this. I see it could, I guess, but this is a big turn. Tesla deliveries aren't out, are they? Yeah, so Tesla usually announces it right around 9 o'clock. I don't know. Yeah, well, the problem is that it's this mic is probably the best mic I have. Like, honestly, I set up my other microphone and it didn't sound nearly as good as this mic. Like, I set up my travel mic and it didn't sound nearly as good as this, nearly as good. And so the reason it sounds so loud typing is because the microphone's built into this laptop. But it's solid. It sounds great, honestly, for a laptop microphone. Like, I was listening to it yesterday and testing it. It sounded better. I went out yesterday and bought 2 standalone microphones. This microphone that's built into the laptop sounds better than both of them. And so I'll just try not to type that much. And if I do, I'll try to type quietly. I'm a loud typer. I type fast. And so I'll try not to, but you know. The point is, it's a freaking good microphone for the laptop. Alright, so we're gonna add into this. Yeah, I've got, how many challenge accounts do I have right now? I've got 1, 2, I've got about 3, I think. I'll have to go check. And they're all in the green. I've got 4, but one of them I haven't touched. I don't know why. I just haven't messed with that one. And then I've got multiple funded accounts as well. You know. There we go. There we go. We're gonna take half off immediately into this. Nice. Take more off. There we go. I'm gonna take the rest off there. All right, so we're up really nicely in this. Yeah. Yeah, so again, we got ADP non-farm payroll data. Let me put this up on screen because this is the first thing coming out. And this thing comes out in like 35 minutes. The ADP non-farm payroll data. Non-farm employment data. And so yesterday's JOLTS job report both showed stronger than expected. We got ADP non-farm payroll data. It's expected at 99,000 today. I'm trying to type very, very quietly. Yeah, so Tesla deliveries for today are the other big thing. They are expected. Where do they go? Yeah, so Tesla deliveries today are expected at 495,500. We'll call it 490. Or no, I'm sorry. They're expected at 387K. 387K. Or no. I'm sorry. They're expected at 410 to 445K. 410,000 to 445,000 is what they're expected at. So I'll put this news update here so you can kind of see what's going on. But there you go. And yeah, we shorted into that pop here. Yeah. Yeah, if I try to type too quiet, it'll slow me down for sure. That's alright. Yeah, we got Tesla deliveries today. And today is for what, let me make sure. Yeah, today's for Q2 for Tesla. Yeah, so we're starting to rebound back up. We've already made a little bit of money shorting into this. But we got a solid amount of news releases coming out though. I'll get a timer up pretty soon too. Look at Apple. Apple pumping up on an upgrade today as well. So I'll have to pull up Discord, but Apple getting up there on an upgrade. So Tesla deliveries always drop at 9 o'clock, right? They usually drop roughly at 9 o'clock. Type on the download. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, so the president posted about 2 minutes ago about the growth from the bill and, quote, tariff money has already arrived and is setting new records, adding, "We got all the cards and we are going to use them," end quote. And again, we did have Challenger layoffs come out earlier today. They showed up at about 48K. Yeah, let me do a poll here. I'm realizing I don't have a poll going on right now. So does the market rebound this morning after dropping yesterday? Yes or no? Vote on the poll. What's up, Chef? Yeah, look at Apple. Apple up to 210s. They got an upgrade this morning from, I believe, Lee. Lee basically downgraded them. Lee, I think, upgraded them, downgraded them, and then upgraded them again. So he's a little confused, probably because of the tariffs. Tesla at 302s, really interesting stock right now. First sign of weakness, but still no confirmation of downward trend. Yeah, I mean, yesterday we dropped at the opening bell, if we zoom out a little bit here. And we're still pretty much down from that, from yesterday. So, like, here's the opening bell yesterday right here, on July 1st. We dropped, we moved back up, we consolidated. We tried to make a pushback, and then we fell back down again. And now we're in a pretty obvious downward trend. You can see the 200 exponential right here on the NQ. I would say the trend's pretty obvious, but look at Apple bump. So Apple bumping up this morning. Yeah, so Apple's moving. Yeah, I think Nvidia's down a little bit today as well. Yeah, Nvidia's down to 152. The stock fell on yesterday, for Nvidia 3% amid a wider pullback in tech companies. This broke a 6-day winning streak that had seen it hit a record closing high. Other pullbacks yesterday, AMD was down 0.3%. Broadcom was flat in pre-market, or AMD's down 0.3% in pre-market. Broadcom is down, or Broadcom is flat. AVGO was flat. The demand for hardware still looks pretty strong, though, according to a lot of analysts. Launch of Blackwell AI processors are going to be followed by the next generation Rubin chips, apparently for NVIDIA in 2026. I know we had Apple news here. So some market chatter happened this morning, and the market chatter is that Apple supplier Foxconn sends Chinese workers home from India. So they said supplier Foxconn Tech Group has instructed hundreds of engineers and technicians to return home from its iPhone factories in India, setting a setback to Apple's plans to ramp up production there. Dan Ives also urges Apple to make a move, saying Perplexity acquisition is a no-brainer. But yeah, Apple stock got an upgrade. That's probably what's pushing it higher. So upgrade for Apple from Wall Street analysts pointed to a positive surprise in it for its June quarter. However, investors might want to wait. Yeah, so Jefferies analyst Edison Lee, who I said earlier, upgraded to hold from underperform in a research note on Tuesday, citing the potential for its next earnings report to beat expectations. And we are starting to head into earnings season. You can see Apple here. Apple at 210s. This thing has been around like 205, 200s, and then recently broke out Monday. So that's where we're at now. Let me put a timer up. I realize I do not have a timer. I need to go get some coffee as well here, so hold on. I'm gonna put my timer up. How much time we got? We got like 25 minutes until. Alright, so here's when the prelim NFP data comes out, right about here. Yeah, so this is right when the prelim NFP data comes out, right about there. So we'll see what that looks like. But there's the timer. Reuters poll says the euro US dollar is going to trade at 1.18 in 6 months, according to a poll from Reuters. It was 1.15 previously and 1.2 in a year, they think. What do you think of Google? I like Google long term. Physical AI will make millionaires get in early. Yeah, I believe that. Not you, Lee, differently. Crypto. Dude, I'm not a singer. I'm just not. I don't have the guts to sing. I don't even know if I sing good. I never tried. But I don't have the guts to do it. Punchbowl is hearing that the One Big Beautiful Bill vote could slip tomorrow due to flight problems. And I think that is causing this down. Like, look at this big turn in market. So again, Punchbowl hearing that the One Big Beautiful Bill vote could slip tomorrow due to flight problems. And I don't know if that's what the NASDAQ is turning down from. Yeah, look at that big pullback. 22,666. Look at that big drop. We're now at 22,662 here. Yeah, I don't think a debt ceiling confrontation is going to help markets, and so I think the market's probably moving down on this bill news that recently came out about Punchbowl, big beautiful bill thing. Tesla announces its quarter 2 delivery numbers in about an hour and 10 minutes, give or take. We'll put a timer up once that drops, but yeah. We got the prelim NFP data. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my coffee. If you could sing, what kind of music would you make? Pepsi? Yeah, maybe. Brother, with AI, you don't need to sing? That's probably true. I don't need to sing at all. That's probably true. I have the voice of an angel on AI. Yeah, I'll be right back. I had to go grab my coffee. Look at the NASDAQ dump here. Wow, NASDAQ's coming down. Yeah. So Grok made a prediction. He said, "I predict Tesla's quarter 2 2025 deliveries will range from 355,000 to 391,000." This is way under from the expectation. Weak demand in Europe and China, competition and backlash against political stuff suggests lower numbers. However, aggressive promotions, new model updates, and focus since May could lift deliveries. The exact figure is uncertain. Do you guys think deliveries come higher or lower than expected for Tesla? We're down to 650 right now in the NQ. Dude, I got something in my eye or something, man. Ugh. Look at this drop in the NASDAQ, though. And again, so every day, 2 days before we get payrolls, usually it's 2 days. Today is 1 day before we get payrolls. We get what's called the prelim NFP data. Non-farm employment change data is the technical name for it. It might give some foresight into what the payrolls might be tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big payroll day, remember. Yesterday we had Jerome Powell. Let me know how loud the music is. But yesterday we had Jerome Powell. We had Jolt show up higher than expected. We saw ISM PMI data show up stronger than expected. And so, yeah, it's an interesting day today for sure because we got deliveries that might influence markets. We have payroll prelim data coming out at 8:15. So this comes out in 20 minutes, chat, at 8:15 market time. I was going to step away to get coffee, but the NASDAQ keeps falling here. Look at the NASDAQ keep on dipping here. Wow, 22,640s. NASDAQ keeps dumping. We did make some money in our fund account yesterday. But man, we're getting some weak action here. Yeah, I'm looking up. I'm trying to find news. The only news that I saw is about Punchbowl hearing the big beautiful vote could slip tomorrow due to flight problems. So basically more uncertainty, I guess. But All right, so we're starting to see a little rebound. We're back up to 650s here. Music level's good. All right, cool. Yeah, let me draw some levels here. I realize I haven't drawn any levels. Let me pull this out. So, honestly, we're just kind of moving quickly today. I mean, we got this big isolated low right here. I think we gotta watch now. I think if you see this level here, this is a pretty big little. I think we'd probably call this 600 though, right here, right around here, right like there. We got 75 right there. Look at that. Tapped right off of it. That too. So we got 75 above us. I mean, we got this little level too here. I don't know what it's going to do. I have to kind of zoom in a little bit more to see it. Maybe. I mean, it's 650. So we can watch 650 too, but we're now over both of those here. So these are the levels that I see right now on the chart. They could certainly change. They could certainly change. Yeah, so with Tesla deliveries here, looking at the historical numbers for Tesla deliveries, people are basically hoping that Tesla deliveries, some people are hoping Tesla deliveries tank the stock. Look at this rebound back up. I'm looking at some numbers here. I'm trying to find the... Yeah, so in April, Q1 deliveries showed up. They were expected kind of in the same range. So in April for Tesla, they were expected at 427 to 470. They showed up at 387, which is a 10% miss. Down 15.6 is what they did following 5 days afterwards. We can look at the same quarter last year. Same quarter last year was July 2nd, 2024. They posted they expected 445 to 450, and they posted slightly under it, like minus 0.2%, but basically the lower end of the estimates. And they went up almost 7.5% the next 5 market days. We are expecting a little bit lower today for Tesla, though. A little bit lower today. So let's see what happens. Apple also has some interesting news coming out. Upgrade news and stuff. We got the ADP non-farm employment data going live at 8:15, and then Tesla delivery numbers. Last time the ADP non-farm employment number showed up at 37,000, and that scared a lot of people because leading into the actual payrolls, people were kind of panicking. They didn't know what to think because the ADP non-farm employment change for May showed up at 37,000, really low. And so people kind of panicked and the market went down. And then payrolls came out, and they came out stronger than expected. I can't remember what they were. I feel like they were like 130 something thousand. Maybe it was higher than that. But payrolls beat expectations. So payrolls beat expectations. There's 8 a.m. Let's see if we get any movement for 8 a.m. But this is the 8 a.m. scrum right now, and we got 15 minutes until the non-farm employment change data. But the point I'm trying to make is, regardless of what the ADP non-farm data shows up as today, like regardless of what this report shows up as, payrolls can be wildly different. They don't have to be anything. They can be wildly different. Honestly, if we pull back to 650, I might buy this. I'm going to buy this dip to 650. Maybe add to it too. Hold on, let's see. There's 10. 15. And we'll add maybe 20 here. We'll leave that. All right, we're flat, we're green. There we go. We're gonna immediately take half off there and then start protecting the trade a little bit here. Nice. Okay, we got 5 contracts left. Took another piece off here. Yeah, look at the bounce. Right at 650. So, take a little bit more off here too. I'll just cut the rest right there. So yeah, we're up a few hundred. I wonder what the scalping percentage. Pawn brought this up. He said, hey, your levels are accurate. He said, basically, I wonder what the scalping percentage would be if you just bought, if you just attacked the first test of your level. Like, I don't stay in it. I usually get in and out pretty quickly, but yeah. I'm holding Tesla regardless. Hey, good luck, bro. Yeah, no, Q1 deliveries earlier this year, certainly made the market dump. I remember that. So quarterly deliveries showed up April 2nd. They missed by almost 10%. Ended up dropping about 16% the next 5 days after Q1 this year, Q1 2025. So, yeah, I mean, it's worth to, watch for. NBA 30-year mortgage rate showed up at 6.79%, slightly lower than the 6.88%. What were the forecasted number? Yeah, they don't really have that. So slightly lower than the previous 6.88%. So we showed up at 6.79 versus 6.88 last week for NBA 30-year mortgages. Still consolidating around 650. I want to see if that holds. But again, we don't have that much time. We got 11 minutes left. 11 minutes. All right, so Jefferies upgraded Apple to hold from underperform price target of 188.32 from 170.62. The firm expects China demand to boost the June quarter revenue and earnings above forecast, but sees flat iPhone growth in the second half of 25 and risk to services revenue. A strong June quarter may keep the stock stable near term. Apple shares are up to almost 210 right now. Yeah, they're basically at around 210 this morning in pre-market. Not a huge amount up, but they're still up some. They're up a 1.2% or so. Still bouncing at that 650 level. Yeah, Tesla's a data company. I mean, they sell cars. Cars are certainly a factor in their business. Like, it's a big factor in their business. Like maybe if you're looking at the future outlook, I understand being like, yeah, Tesla's not a car company. And I get it, but they certainly made their name. It's not about, like, you got to think about it in terms of sentiment. What's the sentiment look like if Tesla's selling less and less and less cars, But I think they are certainly diversified enough to be okay regardless. Doesn't mean they will be. I'm not an investment professional, not liable if you lose, of course. But they're certainly diversified enough to, to probably be okay. But you never know. Can you lower? Yeah, this is Tesla on the top right. Sorry. I'm just not looking at this here. There we go. That's cleaner. Appreciate it. So Anna Wajiki's bid to buy 23andMe has received the court's green light. So she co-founded it 20 years ago, and now her nonprofit TTAM Research Institute will purchase basically all of San Francisco-based 23andMe's assets for $305 million. Look at that rebound right at 650. We also have 675 right above us on the NQ that we're watching. Again, Apple up, Tesla slightly green. Tesla closed at 371 yesterday. $300.71 yesterday. It's currently at 303 almost, right around 303. It tapped it. It looked like it at least tapped 303 earlier. But it's moving some. Some people expect Bitcoin to break all-time highs this morning. And it's getting pretty freaking close. Standard Chartered expects Bitcoin to reach new all-time highs in the second half of 2025, driven by rising ETF flows, corporate buying, potential Fed rate cuts, and U.S. stablecoin bill. The bank forecasts Bitcoin to hit 135,000 in quarter 3 and 200K by the year. And Bitcoin last traded up 1.7%. So here, guys, I will be back in less than a minute. I gotta grab some coffee. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. But yeah, look at the market rebound. It's almost back up to 675s. Let's see if that level holds as possible. Alright, so we basically hit 675 just now. Let's see if it continues up or down. No, I made coffee earlier. I just didn't have time to go grab my cup. So before the stream started, I made the coffee. New all-time high today in Bitcoin? Maybe. No, I said $300.71 for Tesla. Naps. Market will break new all-time high. Or new high of the day. Yeah, maybe. That's why I'm buying Tesla. Hey, maybe good luck. Yeah, a lot of people talk about CYN. Look at what we test here, bro. Look, my levels, dude. I gotta start just trading these levels, because even if it doesn't hold, like even if it continues up here, as an example, like this is, let's see, 674. This is still 7-8 ticks. You know, like this is still 5 to 10 ticks that I could capitalize on just from tests, even if it continues higher. And so, time to get shorts on, somebody says. In my opinion, non-farm will be bad. Markets should drop, but they want rate cuts. The markets might not move at all from non-farm data. They might not. We don't know. We got 5 minutes, though. We'll see. You never know. But they could. They might move. They might not move. Yeah, look at that. That's like 10 ticks that we could have gotten from just attacking that level. Alright, close. Scalp it, get in and out quickly. I bet you the accuracy would be crazy. Yeah, look at 675 hold. It's hot. Yeah, CYN crazy high up to 1530s right now, 1530s. Yeah, just get in and out with limit orders. Yeah, that makes sense. Your levels work because everyone uses the same levels. Oh, I mean, I know why they work. You know, people ask me all the time. They're like, "Hey, do you use pivot points or do you use like some other obscure levels?" And I create them myself. It's pretty simple. I just look at I look at milestone levels. Is what I call them. I call them milestone levels. Like I look at levels in which people's eyes naturally gravitate towards. You know, and even if it rips up, it doesn't matter. It's still held and dipped 10 ticks right at the same exact spot we talked about. Now it's just kind of fighting back above it. I would say you got to watch like 7 up here now. There's some other spots that could hold or do stuff here, like 200 exponentials right here. So that might be one to watch, depending on how strong it gets. No, I don't want anybody to copy trade. Sorry, bro. Right. Yeah, watch 694. It's just 200 exponential. But we got this data coming out. So we do have this data coming out. Expected at 99,000, guys. You can see the expected numbers right at the bottom of the screen. We got 2 minutes left, give or take. Yeah, 2 minutes. Expected at 99,000 for ADP non-farm data. All right, guys. All right, guys, we got about a minute left. NASDAQ still rebounding pretty strong heading into the ADP non-farm employment change data. It drops at 99, or it's expected at 99K. Could drop anywhere, though, but it's expected at 99,000. We have about a minute and 3 seconds. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on the stream. We appreciate it. Hey, what's up? What's up, Ava? Right, exactly, Mikey. He said your comment on human psychology stuck with me. We're predicting how people react. Exactly, it's mass psychology. That's all it is, brother. Hey, so listen, we got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. Hit the live button. Again, you can put it in 2x speed as well. You'll never have to rewind the stream if you put it in 2x speed. And so here we go. Remember, not an investment professional, cannot guarantee anything. We got 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Timer's a little early, that's alright. Alright, 10 seconds, guys. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Alright, there's the release. Waiting for the numbers to show up. Nothing's out yet. Waiting for ADP non-farm employment change. Alright, look at this reaction. Big negative reaction here. Wow, look at this drop. Massive drop on ADP non-farm employment change. It showed up at minus 33K versus 37K, previous 98K. And so minus 33,000 is what it showed up as versus 99K expected. Minus 33,000 jobs versus 33K expected. Minus 99,000. Weaker than expected. Minus 33,000 versus minus 99. That's a big miss here, Chad. And I think that's really telling of payroll numbers here. minus 33,000. Guys, yikes. Dude, that is terrible. Minus 33,000. Jobs showed a huge weak number, minus 33,000. I'll put this data up on screen. That is a crazy big miss. A crazy big miss. Yikes, dude. That is a big... so we now have it at the bottom of the screen. You can see it. What a huge miss here, chat. Minus 33,000. And then initially the NASDAQ did drop all the way down to that 637 level. Yeah. So, yikes. Yeah, it's the first negative print in years, chat, in years. Just to put it into perspective, that's bad. First negative print in years. They expected 99,000. Honestly, we kind of rebounded pretty quickly here, though. But man, minus 33 or minus 37. That is a huge miss. I didn't expect it to be this bad either, bro. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, we got Tesla Q2 deliveries, 9 a.m. coming out now. That's the next big report. But man. Yeah, so now we're coming back down. I'm still watching 650, but yikes, dude. Anybody else see how bad these numbers are? Minus 33,000, chat. That is crazy. And again, I think, like, look, I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. But I think showing a negative print for the first time in years is not a good sign for tomorrow, right? I think... What is expected tomorrow? So for tomorrow's payroll report, tomorrow we're expecting 120,000. So we're still expecting a little bit of light payrolls for June. And I think, you know, unless we get a fake out here, which is possible, it's certainly possible we get a fake out. But unless we do, these are bad numbers. And I think it might give a little bit of insight into potentially low payroll numbers. And again, just to clarify, it doesn't always correlate. Sometimes we get super low prelim data and then like higher than expected payrolls. That's what happened last time. We got really low. We got like 33,000 when they expected 100 or something. And there we got like 37K. But it was way low. And then payrolls came out higher than expected. So it doesn't always correlate. But I think a super negative number like this is not good. And this is leaning towards a potential worrisome economy. If payrolls confirm this tomorrow, it ain't looking good. We also have jobless claims, unemployment, and more. I'm short biased today because of this report, because I think this report's bad. It's obviously not good, but I think what this means is bad. So what do you guys think? Also, if you want to help support your boy here on this channel, if you want to help support the channel, check out Top Step. If you want to learn to day trade, just do not risk your own money trying to day trade stocks and depositing 5, 10, 20, 30 grand. You're probably going to lose it. Let's just be honest here. Most day traders lose. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow, how much you deposit. Most day traders lose their first couple accounts. It's just kind of how it goes. And so you can either fund your own account trying to look cool, or you could try Top Step. Top Step gives you a 50K demo, a 100K demo, 150K demo, depending on which one you choose. And if you could pass the test, the base one, you got to make 3K without losing 2K. following their rules, which are reasonable. If you can do that, they fund you $50K, you get to keep your first $10K in profit and then 90% split afterwards. And if you fail, you're out $50. It's the best of both worlds. Beautiful way to learn because you're learning risking something, just not the full extent of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars like a lot of new traders end up doing. And they pay out millions, 100 million plus. They fund thousands. Beautiful way to learn. No PDT rule. You can day trade the S&P, Dow, NASDAQ, Russell, gold, some currencies. Very similar to day trading stocks. No PDT rule. And if you use Top Step X, you get zero commission. And so zero commission on Top Step X, so the edge is even higher. It's just useful. It's just useful. And again, if you want to check it out, I'll put the link up. Again, they're an affiliate or sponsor of mine, so I'm biased because I get paid by them. But genuinely useful for traders, in my opinion. Genuinely useful for traders. And so I'll put this link up in chat. I'll pin it to the top of the page. You can also find it in the description. Just be careful. Remember, most day traders lose regardless of where they go. But this is just a useful way to do it. Again, minus 33,000. Yikes. Are recession whispers getting louder is the question I have right now. Like, does this mean higher recession worries? I don't know. But I don't think it's good. So the prelim NFP data, Chuck, always comes out at 8:15. So the prelim NFP data always comes out at 8:15. Now we got Tesla deliveries going live in like, what, 38 minutes? So we got Tesla deliveries going live now too, which is even more interesting report. So we got more stuff. Let's see if this influenced the rate decisions. We can also take a look at yields as well. But here is the... Okay, so this is still roughly at 21%. Let me refresh this to make sure. Yeah, it's still the same. I'm going to put up 10-year treasuries to see yields, that is, because yields and interest rates follow each other. So this did make yields decline. Understandably so. Like, yields and long-term interest rates are going to follow each other. And so with weaker economics, what do yields do? They dip. So yields just dropped from 2.29 to 2.27 pretty quickly after this report. Look at this report come out here, and then boom, yields fall quickly. Still up on the day, though, and down over the last week. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. Yields are down. And look at the NASDAQ tumble. All right, so the China foreign minister says the notion is willing to enhance communication with the European Union, and the U.S. House is going to meet at 9 Eastern time for legislative business and to begin debate on the reconciliation bill. Rule vote at 11 Eastern time. Final vote is yet to be determined, according to Punchbowl's Sherman. All right, so here's the NASDAQ fall. A little delayed response. This is what I thought would happen, is that I'm more bearish today because of this, because I think these numbers are really bad, and this is the largest drop since March of 2023. Powell will cut. He might just cut too late. And again, stick around. We got Tesla Q2 deliveries coming out at 9 a.m. What's up, Gus? Yeah. Like, look at this drop. Alright, so we're starting to see pullbacks and everything. Here's Tesla. We can put up Apple here. Apple was up pretty significantly on the day. Apple dipping down some now too. My comment was for July specifically, with the hope for a July cut. I don't think that will happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to cut in July either. I mean, we got a roughly 20% chance of a July cut. So, and that's not nothing, you know. Like, I cover all the Fed meetings, and so sometimes it's 99.9% likely of something, and it'll get closer to that as we get closer to the meeting. But still, 20% chance of now. Basically, if payrolls come in hyper weak tomorrow, that's what's going to I think that's what's going to increase the odds. I still think you probably pause. But if payrolls come out weak tomorrow, if jobless claims come in high tomorrow, if all the other economic reports coming out next week and the week after show weakness, that's a situation in which we might start to get much more increased odds of rate cuts. Because again, in order to cut rates, let me put the timer back up. In order to cut rates, he's going to argue we need justifiable economic weakness. And I just don't know if we got that, you know. Here, I'm going to turn this up. Yeah, he's just going to say we need justifiable economic weakness. And so I just don't know if, you know, he's going to give us that. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. Am I in sub-only mode? We should be. Hold on. Oh. Yo, hit that subscribe button. There you go. Alright, so look at the 637 level here. And this is an interesting dynamic. So we ended up rejecting right off of 637. Oh, coffee tastes good. Hey, what's up, King Win? Tesla should be $100. I don't know, man. And we cover all this stuff on our X page at Beginner Trades. So you give me a follow at Beginner Trades. We cover all of it. Again, I don't claim to be an expert. I don't sell a course. I don't sell a service. I don't even claim to be a good trader. I just try to give people free market data and I trade live and let people watch me trade. I don't even claim to be good, but I just try to give people a free resource. I think there's enough people trying to monetize, like overly monetize everything. So I just try to kind of keep it free. I have sponsors and stuff, but yeah, so private employers cut 33,000 jobs last quarter. That's a big amount, man. To be honest, the reason I had to double check it because I saw a negative number, and I was like, no. And I had to double check it. Oh, I'm in Michigan right now, dude. Michigan's so freaking nice. Michigan's so nice, dude. I love Michigan. The weather here, honestly. I'm from South Louisiana. The weather here is just so much nicer. In the summer, let me make an important distinction. In the summer, the weather's so much nicer. I'm not staying here for the winter, but all right. So let's look at 650 here. I'm really curious about 650. I might actually short 650 here. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Oh, dude, I missed it. That's a bummer. Oh well. I've been to Mackinac Island. Yeah, so one time, so my mom used to live in Canada. And so when I would go see my mom, my dad would throw me on a Greyhound bus. And I would take a 2-day ride up to Canada on a Greyhound bus. And one time, when I was a teenager, it was fun. I had fun doing it. But one time when I was a teenager, he, instead of buying me a ticket for Sault Ste. Marie, which is where I was going, Sault Ste. Marie, Canada, but I had to go through Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Instead of buying me that ticket, he bought me a Mackinac Island ticket. And this is before cell phones were really a thing. I mean, we had cell phones, but I didn't have a nice cell phone, and I'm pretty sure I didn't have any battery because I'd been on a bus for 2 days. And they ended up dropping me off at Mackinac Island in the wintertime. in the snow. And I had the lightest jacket ever, and I had to use a payphone, and yeah. Prelim non-farm data was way worse than expected. It came in at negative 33,000. Yeah, I slept on the bus. All right, so retracing back up here. They swap drivers. Still testing this low again. Again, I think this is a weak sign. I think this is going to scare the market. And like now, if Tesla deliveries come in low too, people are going to say, we have no jobs. The economy's turning weak, and I think that's a plausible reaction. Can you explain ADP employment? It's the same thing, it just doesn't include government payrolls. And there's slight variations to it as well, but it's jobs. Non-farm employment changes, jobs, and they look at jobs in terms of like business expansion. So the reason it's a gauge of the economy is because they're looking at it in the context of like, these are businesses. What do businesses that are growing do? They expand and they hire more people, right? And so these are jobs in that context. And so if it came in at minus 33K, it came in at a negative number. It means less jobs, and that's scaring people, and that's why we're reacting negatively to this report. Because I think this number coming in at negative, even if we do show stronger payrolls than this, it still doesn't mean payrolls are going to come in good. They might. You never freaking know. Sometimes the variance is high with it, but all right, NASDAQ just cracked lows as well. Let's watch 22.6. We're pushing down towards 22.6. And again, we got Tesla delivery numbers going live. Tesla deliveries are going live in 26 minutes. Yeah, it was nighttime too, so a lot of stuff wasn't open. Yeah. Brother, that's not a bounce. This isn't a bounce. What would you call this right here? This move from 640 up to 670, so about a 30 tick move. What would you call that? I mean, it might be a small bounce, but I don't know what else you want me to call it, bro. Tell me what the correct verbiage you would like me to use, sir, and I'll try to accommodate you. I don't know what y'all want me to say. No. Yeah, it's due to payrolls. Or it's not payroll. It's not technical payrolls. It's non-farm employment data. But yeah, it might have kept going down after the bounce, but it certainly bounced. It's a hop and a skip. Okay, fair. Technical term. Yeah, market did not like the negative print in payrolls, of course. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to. What's your idea for a long-term investment in the SPY? I know long-term is good, but do you see any downfall now? What do you mean? Are you saying the investing in the S&P 500 is not a viable long-term strategy? I mean, maybe. You know how much, here's the thing, all right? You know how much big money is involved in investing into the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100? Or the NASDAQ composite, whichever one you want to use. Like, you know how much big money is involved in that? And so because of that, they're not going to let that fail. Like, people act like the S&P is going to fail. Like, look, I think what we could see is some correction years, but we might not see that either. Like, I think we've seen last year 50% in the NASDAQ. You know, crazy gains in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. The last 3 years, the AI boom was here. And so I think right now, it's normal for us to have a couple break-even years or have some losing years. That's pretty standard. But it doesn't mean we're not going to go up long-term in the S&P or the SPY or the NASDAQ, you know. Investing in, especially like DCAing into those long-term, in my opinion, are some of the best strategies you can make. And you also want to be careful, like sometimes big banks just tell you stuff, right? Like an example I always try to use on stream, and I'll put it up real quick, right? Like if we put up the SPY here, and I put up a long-term chart. Man, I gotta put up a longer-term chart now. Make it 10 years just to get the point across. Alright, so look. You know how many people told you not to buy right here at 370 on the SPY? Market dip like this down to 370. You know how many big banks came out and said, hey, the market's weak, it's going to keep going down, you know, it's the end of the world, it's doom and gloom, you should be scared, all this different stuff. And then we had one of the craziest booms we've seen in history of the stock market. You know, last year we did 50%. The year before that, we just ripped up well over those highs and kept going up. You know who missed out on a lot of this move right here? These are the same people saying the market's going to crash and it's going to be doom and gloom a lot of the time. You know how many people missed out on this big move because they were listening to the big banks telling them the market was going to be fire and brimstone? Like, you got to understand, watch what the big banks do, not what they necessarily say. Because sometimes they'll be like, hey, the market's going to crash, and then they buy it up huge, and then the market goes on a huge run. And so the overarching point I'm trying to make is listen to watch what the big banks do, not necessarily what they say. Because they're going to say, oh, the S&P and the NASDAQ aren't good anymore, you know, or whatever they want to say. But you don't want to get too wrapped up in it because, you know, sometimes they're just telling you stuff. They're trying to influence retail traders. You know who capitalized the most on those big moves? The banks did. And so you got to just watch what they do, not what they say. According to ChatGPT, ADP has a much higher impact than NFP. Interesting. Wrong. AI's wrong. The only way this is going to have a bigger impact than the NFP data is if the NFP data comes in pretty neutral, because this was really bad, right? So it also has to do with, I would say, like the polarity of what it shows up as, right? Like if we come up at a huge miss tomorrow for NFP data is almost certainly going to move the market more than today's ADP non-farm employment change report. If tomorrow's NFP data shows up flat, this might move the market more just because it's such a big miss. It's much more polarized of a report, if that makes sense. And so you got to look at it in that context as well with any data, right? If it's flat, it's flat. It might not move markets regardless of what it is. But if it's a big miss, even if it's like a smaller report like ADP, it's moving things. And that's what I'm saying. You can see this now. This ADP report, it came in a big miss. This is something I try to explain to people. Like, I cover all the big economic reports. I really do. Like, I cover every single economic report. And to be honest, I've been covering them before some of these big channels started covering them. And so a lot of them don't quite understand some of this stuff, I think. And maybe some of them do. I'm not trying to hate on anybody. But my point is, I've been watching these reports for years. And number one, there's variance. You don't know how the market's going to respond. We might get really good numbers, market might drop 5% or vice versa. That's number one. Number two is it has to do with the extent of the miss, or you could also look at what it was last time, right? Like those are two numbers, what it was previously versus what it is now, what the expected number was versus what it is now. And the greater discrepancy between those two, usually the more movement you're going to get. And the more predictable it's going to be to a certain extent, right? It's never easily predictable, but it's going to be more predictable if it's like a big miss like this. Like right after this report came out, what did I say? I said, I expect bearish action. I expect the market to not like this report and the market to go down. And since then, I wish I would have shorted my idea. But again, there's variance, so I don't really trust it either. But you can kind of see how the market's dropping now. All right, now we're at 22.6. Let's see if 22.6 holds. It's a level. Maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't. Yeah, you're probably right, V. It's probably not about retail and probably about big company investment managers' money and funding. 100%. You're probably right. Yeah, NFP incredibly important right now. All right, so now we're heading back down still. We just dumped under 22.6. Tesla. Let me make sure Tesla numbers aren't out yet. Hold on. The president is expected to partake in meetings with House Republicans, according to Punch Bowls. Rivian also just dropped their numbers. Rivian did Q2. Tesla's already dropping down significantly here. Yeah, so Tesla's Q2 sales are projected to show a 12% decline. Yeah, so I'm looking up Tesla deliveries here as well. Nothing yet. Still waiting here. But the NASDAQ just took a big turn here. Look at Tesla dip. Tesla down 300. You know, Rivian, again, a couple minutes ago, delivered 10.6 thousand. They produced almost 6,000. Reaffirmed delivery guidance. Google reportedly offers a new proposal to fend off critics and stave off the EU fine, according to Reuters, citing a Google document. The proposal creates a box for vertical search engines, search results, another box for hotels, airlines, and restaurants, and more. Look at the NASDAQ turn down, though. Tesla is what's driving this. So maybe somebody got some early information. I don't know. But the numbers aren't out yet that I'm showing. Not that I see here. All right, so let's see if 600 holds as resistance now. All right, so we're looking at us reject at that 22.6 level. All right, so we're still waiting for Tesla deliveries. We got 15 minutes, 14 minutes, give or take. So we'll see what that shows up as. All right, we're back up to over 22.6 here. Apple's fallen down to 210. I wonder if that's going to cause a bounce. Yeah, so Tesla expected what? I'm showing for today Tesla's expected. What are you guys showing for expected numbers for Tesla today? I'm showing expected at 410 to 445K for deliveries. See this pawn. Yeah, so we're rebounding back up some here. All right, 15 minutes. Yeah, so the ADP said the economy loses jobs for the first time since 2023 due to trade wars. Wall Street economists and the Fed believe the economy will grow slowly in 2025. Gross domestic product shrank in the first quarter for the first time in 3 years. If the labor market were to, go down further and push up unemployment, the Fed could even come off sidelines and cut interest rates in July. Last time it lowered borrowing costs was at the end of last year. ADP is a poor predictor of jobs. That follows a few days later. The two reports also differ by 50,000 or more. I think that's true. From somebody that watches these reports regularly, I think that's true. I think ADP differs wildly sometimes from the actual NFP numbers. But I think these numbers are so bad, even if they're 50,000 different, right? It still shows what? Less than 20,000 or around 20,000 payrolls, which is bad. That's not good. They expect tomorrow what? What do they expect for tomorrow? They expect for tomorrow they expect 120K. So if we show up at 20K tomorrow, even if we are 50,000 off, that ain't good. That's still going to freak the market out. Okay, look, I asked people what's expected here. Hold on. Let me ask. Okay, so Visible Alpha has it at just under 400,000. I'm just going to put 400K. So yeah, y'all are right. I think my number's wrong here. Bloomberg expects 391. I'll probably use that one. All right, so we're rebounding back up some here. We got 11 minutes, chat. 11 minutes. All right, guys, Tesla deliveries dropping in about 10 minutes here. NASDAQ is down big after losing 33,000 jobs for ADP payrolls. Just be careful here, guys. Who knew payrolls would come in this week, dude? People losing check apps, yeah. Yeah, Bitcoin all-time high in quarter two of or second half of this year is what they said. So I saw the standard chartered data for Bitcoin. They think Bitcoin's going to break all-time highs in the second half of this year is what they think. All right, so now we're coming back down. Let's see if 600 bounces us. Look, there's 600. Let's see if we bounce here. Didn't quite hit it, but it's close enough. All right, guys, 9 minutes here before Tesla deliveries. Alright, so look at this dip over 604s. This is where it's going to start to get volatile because Tesla's going to move. I'll put Tesla up on the right side of the screen here, just Tesla here. We got some time, but still, man. Yeah, Tesla deliveries coming out pretty soon here. Give me your last minute predictions. What do you guys think? Today a mini correction, maybe. I'm gonna do a quick poll here. Does Tesla deliveries show higher or lower than the 391K expected? Higher, lower. We're gonna do a quick poll here. We got 7 minutes left. Happy Wednesday, you as well. You can vote on that poll now. Let me know what you guys think. I might try to buy this little dip here. Maybe add some more. Need a little bit larger size. I might go to add back to this here. We already got a pretty big cushion on the day here, so we're pretty set regardless, but I maybe should have waited till we got a little bit closer to 600. This level keeps getting bought up though. Take half off here. Take a little bit more. Take a little bit more. Alright, we're out. Nice little bounce here at 600. 339. Yep. A huge miss for jobs. We came in at negative 33,000. A huge, massive miss for jobs, man. Like, honestly, a crazy amount. A crazy miss. All right, chat, we got about 5 minutes. Looking at our poll numbers, we did a quick poll here. 74% think Tesla's going to come in lower than 391K. We'll have to look at what actual payroll numbers are. Like what actual NFP data is tomorrow. Tomorrow we got NFP. If you want to know where jobs are at in this country, watch my stream tomorrow. We got non-farm payrolls, jobless claims, unemployment, and more. Government payrolls, all that stuff. It drops all live tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. So tune in tomorrow. We got 5 minutes left before Tesla deliveries. But yeah, that's going to give us a big indicator in what's going on. Jolts came out yesterday. Today was ADP employment. And it came in really, really, really weak at negative number for the first time since 2023 at minus 33K. They expected almost 100,000 positive, and they came in at negative 33,000. So they came in almost 130,000 under jobs expected. So wasn't good. Wasn't good. Jolts was stronger, and so was ISM Manufacturing yesterday. All right, we got Tesla on the right side of the screen, guys. We got Tesla delivery numbers in less than 5 minutes. It's expected. It's not. Somebody's asking, is Tesla expected at 400K or 391? It's expected somewhere around those numbers. Bloomberg has it at 391. Other analysts have it at 400. It could be anything. The expected number just depends on analysts, right? So it varies. It's not one number. I mean, I think it increases the odds of a cut, especially if we get a correlation between this and payrolls tomorrow, not NFP data tomorrow. I think it suggests more of a need to cut, and I expect it to increase the odds slightly of a cut, but I don't think we're going to cut this month. But I think it should, in theory, increase the odds of a cut. Weaker economics should push forward the probabilities of a cut. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it should increase the odds at least a little bit, but you never know. Sometimes no. All right, we're sideways right now. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes of sideways action. I think the market's honestly waiting for Tesla. Tesla deliveries are supposed to release sometime after 9 o'clock. Usually they come out right at 9. Yeah, they expect approximately 355 to 394 for quarter 2, representing an 11 to 19% year-over-year decline. Whew. All right, guys. We only got a couple minutes left. The market's very flat leading into this report. Microsoft is going to lay off as many as 9,000 employees in the latest round as well. The president also posted that gas prices hit a 4-year low ahead of July 4th. All right, guys, less than a minute here. Less than a minute. 40 seconds. This timer's a little early. Also, you make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you fully capture up on street. NASDAQ bouncing back right at that 600 level. All right, guys, here we go. We'll get this timer out the way, but it's about to happen right now. Here's the report. So the report comes out right now. All right, guys, let's watch for movement in Tesla. We should see some movement in Tesla when this report comes out. So nothing yet, but we should see some movement in Tesla as the report drops. Waiting. Nothing yet. No movement yet. There's 9 o'clock. Everybody's waiting here, so stick around. Watch for Tesla movement. They could be late. It's possible they're late. Sometimes they are late. Tesla shares are down about 7% ahead of quarter two. Alright, so there's a little dip. I don't see anything here, though. Everybody's on pause. Small dip for Tesla. Alright, there's Tesla ripping up here, so it looks like the numbers are actually out. Look at this huge rip up to 315 for Tesla. Huge rip up to 315. Massive move up to 315. All the way up to 315. Tesla quarter two deliveries 384,000 versus 389. Quarter two deliveries 384,000. 384,122 is what they showed. 384,122 versus 391. Slightly lower than expected, although Tesla did react positively to this. Again, 384,000 for quarter two. Again, it says, yeah, 300. They produced about 410,000, 410K. Again, so they produced 300 or 410,000. They delivered 384. Slightly, I mean, it's in. They expected 350 to 400. So the upper range was 390. They missed that, but they were basically as expected, and Tesla is reacting positively to this. Again, they delivered 384 versus 390, roughly expected. Slightly under the top end of the expectation, but produced 410,000. And they said in the second quarter, we produced over 410,000 vehicles, delivered 384,000 vehicles, and deployed 9.6 gigawatts an hour of energy storage products. That's all they really said. Tesla up almost at 320 right now, starting to react positively. This is kind of helping the market a little bit after a weak payroll print. But yeah, 384,000. I'll put this up on screen. They produced about 410. We'll throw this on screen here. All right, so the delivery numbers are now on screen. Let me fix that. There we go. Delivery numbers are now on screen. Tesla reacting very positively to this, up to 320s. Right now, 320s. The micro NASDAQ is at 650s. Almost 650s. So we're rebounding from this weak payroll print, or ADP non-farm jobs print. But yeah, market's flying back here. Look at this rebound. Let's watch 650 here. I want to see if 650 holds. If Tesla keeps running, it's going to drag the market back up with us. So Tesla all the way back up to 320s right now. So Tesla up like, what, 7% from this report so far? Or no, I'm sorry, not 7%. That 7% is wrong. If it got up to... If it went up $30 a share, it would be roughly 30 divided by 3. So it's up about 2%. Still good. Still a lot, not 7. Sorry, my number was wrong. Let's watch the 200 exponential here. We're at 650s right now. Yeah, NFP is definitely the bigger data drop. said you guys have no common sense when it comes to Tesla. How many times does it take for you dummies to realize? Who? I like Tesla, honestly, you know, but I'm not sure the context of it. Either way, you shouldn't really be upset, but Nvidia needs a push. Yeah, I mean, Tesla up there. Somebody needs a timeout. Sometimes I think people have these, like, sometimes I think people, they want me to be wrong so they can say I told you so. But it's like, dude, I like Tesla. I never said Tesla was going down from this report. I don't know what Tesla's going to do. I'm pretty neutral in everything, I think. But for whatever reason, people just, they want to act like I'm the opposite. Like, they want to act like I'm some big Tesla bear. And I'm not at all. I don't think I've ever been a big Tesla bear, you know. Oh, I think my original math was right. Yeah, if Tesla moves up $30 a share and it's a $300 stock, that's 10%. Tesla has moved up $15 a share right now. And so that's 15%. Or no, I'm sorry for this. So that's 5%. Tesla up about 5 to 6% right now, yeah. I need to drink more coffee. My chat only works on my phone, not on my desktop. Yeah, I have no idea how to fix that, bro. Yeah, Tesla's volatile. That's all I know. They beat JP Morgan and Deutsche Bank expectations too. Yeah. People get upset. Yeah, what I know is that being super emotionally attached to different directions in stocks is not really a winning endeavor. Like, if I'm in a position, I'll put it this way, right? Like, if I'm in a position, and there's been a lot of positions I've bought the dip on that everybody's made fun of me, and that's fine. Because most of the time I've made money on them. But if I buy the dip, I don't care who's shorting my dip buy. Like, that is insignificant to me. If the company's strong, it's strong, you know? And you don't want to be too emotionally tied to other traders' decisions regarding your stock, because that just is not a winning mindset in trading. You know, some of my best positions are positions in which everybody's like, John, that's terrible. You're going to lose money, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then they get quiet real quick after like a couple weeks. And some of those, my best positions are like that. And so I think you just got to be resilient. You don't want to be too emotional about different directions and movements and all this different stuff. Regardless of whether you want it to go up or down. Like, that's just not how you make money. And again, if you want to help support your boy here, check out Top Step. If you want to learn to day trade, don't fund your own account thousands of dollars. It makes no sense. You're probably going to lose it. Most day traders lose their first couple accounts for the first year or two. If you want to learn to day trade, or even if you got skills in day trading, you just don't want to risk too much money, $50 a month for the base one, $100 for the middle one. If you pass those tests, you get $50K funded account, $100K funded account, 90% split. And so that's similar to funding your own account. And you get to keep your first $10K in profit prior to that split kicking in. It's the best of both worlds. If you fail, you're out $50, $100. It's limited risk. You're not losing tens of thousands of dollars. If you pass it, 90% split, pretty similar to funding your own account. And they pay out hundreds of millions. They fund thousands. Just a beautiful way to learn how to day trade. In that structured environment, learning in futures makes sense because there's no PDT rule. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stock patterns if you trade indices. And it just makes sense. No PDT rule. It's just the right environment to learn how to day trade. And you're still probably going to lose because most day traders lose money. But it's a lot cheaper here, and if you're good enough, you can still pass it, start taking payouts, and their payouts are incredibly reliable as well. If you want to check them out, they are an affiliate or sponsor of mine. I get paid by them. They pay me money, so I am biased for sure in their favor, but genuinely useful for new day traders. And I think if new day traders didn't have something like this, they'd be depositing 5, 10, 20, 30 grand and just destroying their life savings. And so I think this is a cheaper way. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Don't copy me. Anyways, Tesla delivery numbers are out. They came in at the, I would say they came in pretty neutral. And so Tesla popping up whatever the percentage is here from a relatively neutral reading is interesting. And it just makes it hard to predict too, but yeah, there's the link right there. Yeah, Tesla deliveries came in. I mean, I don't know. Most people are posting the top end. Like I posted the top end of the expectation. Like the top end of the expectation was 391 for Bloomberg, 400K from some other ones. But the bottom end was like 350. And so we came in relatively flat at the topper end of the expectations, I would say. And that's good enough to make Tesla go up. And so I think that's why Tesla's up, is because we were kind of at the top end. Market was expecting much worse, I think. Yeah, I think that's basically what happened here. I think the market was expecting much worse for Tesla. And yeah. The amount of ads he's doing. I mean, bro, I do what? One ad every hour? Like an ad an hour? I don't think that ruins the stream. If that ruins the stream, brother, I mean, listen, go watch somebody else, dude. I probably do what? 3-4 plugs a day in a 3 or 4 hour stream. That's about a plug an hour. You'll be all right, you know. I mean, I'm going to be real to you. You got some people here that tell you they're here out of the kindness of their heart and they just want to help people. They just like teaching, guys. I'm not them. They're full of crap. They're here to make money 100%, just like I am. I mean, I'm not sitting here at the kindness of my heart for 4 hours, getting up at 6 a.m. every day because I just like being kind. John the Kind. No, that's not me. That's not anybody, you know. I'm here to make money 100%, and that should be pretty understandable. Yeah, it takes time and energy to run the stream and cover breaking news. But again, people tune in because we cover it fast, and we cover. If you want to know if something's going on in finance, you can watch this stream, and you know what's going on. So, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome. It's all love here. I hate you guys forever, but it's all love. John the Kind. I just like teaching, guys. Joshua Van's a gangster. What's up, Treff? Hey, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it. Look, the chat's coming to my defense, man. What a welcome. I don't know if it's a surprise, but I appreciate you guys. Cheers to you. Thanks so much. Coming to my defense today, man. Y'all are on it. Hey. I appreciate it. But yeah, so Tesla deliveries, middle range, slightly better than the lower end, slightly worse than the high end of expectations. Let's see 650 here on the NQ. I'm in Michigan right now, so I'm in Eastern time. But I'm still Central time at heart because I'm from Louisiana. And so right now it's 7:15 Central time. But it's 8:15 Eastern because I'm in Michigan right now. Alright, look at this bounce right there at 637. 637 continues to be a level here. I'm watching 650 as we push higher. I learned so much here. Much love from Austria. Hey, thank you, Road. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm in Michigan right now, Treff. Oh, it's 9:15 Eastern time. You're right. I completely forgot. My laptop's still on Central time. You guys are absolutely right. It is 15 minutes before the opening bell today. Tesla delivery numbers are out. I completely forgot. You guys are right. I'm wrong. Y'all are smart. I'm dumb. Y'all are very good looking. I'm not attractive here today, chat. I'm sorry. You guys are right. All right, guys. So Tesla news is out. Yeah, and people criticizing prop firms, let me just talk about it for a second. Listen, I started day trading years and years and years ago. I'll tell you my story, and the reason I think these are incredibly useful. Okay, now you can say whatever you want and try to make them, like, put them in a bad light, and I get it. People are just kind of mad sometimes, but the reality of it is most day traders are going to lose, regardless of where you go, what course you take, who your mentor is, what you trade. 90% of day traders are losing money. And this is something I try to be incredibly honest about because this is just the facts around things. Day traders lose money. And so you can either fund your own account, 10K, 20K, 30K, which a lot of traders end up doing. When I first got started, I thought I was going to be a savant, day trading guru. Everybody's going to be like, dang, look how smart John is. He's just the day trader of the world, right? Instead, I ended up losing $4,000 in like 2.5 weeks. And I was distraught because $4,000 at the time especially was a lot of money to me. I wasn't ready for it. And Carol tried to talk me out of it. But yeah, most day traders are going to lose money like that. And so you can either fund your own account because prop firms or, whatever, you don't like prop firms and you can lose $4,000 of your own money, or you could lose $50 in a Top Step account. Which one's better for new traders? You can act like the first one's better, but of course it's not. Of course it's not. Like, a lot of demo accounts cost the same as these prop firm accounts. Like $50 a month, you could probably buy a demo account with real-time data on TradingView for like the same amount. But there's a lot more stuff. This one actually adds pressure, and that's a useful thing. That's an incredibly needed thing in trading. You got to give new traders something to have a middle ground. The PDT rule, you got to deposit $25,000 to day trade freely in stocks. Like, you got to give people an easier option that, like, with less startup capital. And this is it. And I think it makes sense, right? And is it as free as day trading your own account? No, it's not. But you can't really expect it to. That's not really a reasonable expectation for it. And so I think you got to look at it for what it really is and understand it's like a souped up demo account. And if you pass it, you get some rewards and perks from it. And if you fail it, it's a lot better than failing a $10, $20, $30,000 real money account, And so just, you got to be reasonable. And I think day traders lose money and they want to blame whomever they can. They want to blame their platform and their broker and whomever they can aside from themselves for taking a bunch of dumb trades. And the reality of it is, I'd much rather lose one of these than lose a $25,000 real money account. And that's all everybody, if they're being objectively truthful, is going to tell you that. Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to make money, as I've said a million times, is just to DCA into indexes. Long term, sit on them. Generationally sit on them if you want. You can sit on investments for lifetimes, and they're going to go up most of the time. It depends on what you're investing in. Not all investments are going to go up, but if you day trade indices, NASDAQ's going up long term, S&P's going up long term, almost certainly. There's always a little bit of variance there, but it's not what a lot of people act like it is. It's pretty consistent. I mean, I don't know about 99%. I think it's about 90. It's like 80 to 90% of day traders lose money, especially in the beginning. But I don't know what the actual percentage is. I know it's somewhere around there. PDT is only on margin accounts. Yeah, but you can only go long. You can't go short. You got to wait for your funds to settle at least 24 hours. It's just severely restrictive. Your channel's doing fine. That's why I'm chilling here. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. At least you are kind. John the Kind. I think you're attractive. I appreciate it, I guess. Hater got you off your game, John? I don't know. I'm not really off my game. I'm just kind of waiting for the opening bell. Market's too sideways. Like, I don't want to trade this. Giving me something to talk about is better because you guys know me. If I'm just sitting here quietly, I'm probably like off in the back end on my computer, like researching something. And so I might just not say anything for 5 minutes, and then people get weird about that too. So I'd rather talk about something, even if it's nonsense, than nothing, you know? So it's all good. It's a good conversation, I think, honestly. Heading into the opening bell, it's a useful conversation. Hey, later, Blaze. Have a good day, bro. Please do not talk about Love Island. What's Love Island? Is that a TV show? Hey, Carol. Carol knows what Love Island is. Let's ask her. I think she's doing a puzzle in there. What's Love Island?
Love Island?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I think it's a dating show.
It's a dating show?
It's like a dating reality show.
It's on Netflix?
I don't know. I thought it was an MTV thing.
MTV? Is MTV even around anymore?
They still do stuff, but it's not like it used to be. It's not music TV anymore.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't been music TV since TRL, you know?
Yeah, so.
Alright. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, somebody's like, don't talk about Love Island. That's the first thing I'm talking about. Alright, so we're right at 650 on the NASDAQ. Let's see if it holds. Tesla holding at that volume-weighted average price level. I'll put the SPY up on the bottom, and maybe let's see gold. Has gold shot up with weaker payroll print, or weaker ADP print? Is gold up today? I would assume it would be. Let's see when this data came out. So the data came out right around here. Yeah, so gold spiked up on this weak ADP print. Look at this. So not a shock. I mean, that's pretty predictable, I guess. In a few years, people will be marrying robots. They probably already are. They were already marrying those dolls, which you gotta be, no offense, listen. It's all love here, you know. I'm a big believer in marry who you want to marry, you know. Like, save your tax money. Like, I get it, you know. Let them do whatever they want to do. But I feel for them if they're marrying dolls, you know. They've got to be really lonely if they're doing that. And I think AI will be a little bit better. At least they can talk back. Might not be a real person talking back. But yeah. The talking back thing ruins it for me. Yeah, we talked about rates. I mean, here's the thing, mister. ADP came in hyper weak, like 130,000 less than expected. They expected 90K. They came in at 133K. Or no, they came in at negative 33,000, which was the first negative print for ADP payrolls since 2023. And so that is what caused most of this drop leading into the opening bell, is a really weak ADP non-farm employment change print, negative 33,000. Very weak, very weak. Tesla deliveries came in slightly under the high end of the expected numbers, but still above the low end. And so I would say neutral to like good to neutral numbers. And so they ended up spiking up originally, you know, whatever percentage that is, 7%, 6%. And now they're dipping down to 313s or so, right around the volume weighted average price. But they've been falling down since the report came out. Gold spiked up on the weaker print. And again, there's not always a correlation. But I think a hyper negative number like this for ADP data does give a little bit more influence into what payrolls might be, and there might be a little bit more of a correlation, at least, because like people say payrolls can differ from ADP data 50,000 or more. Even if that happens, it's still going to be noticeably below. If they show up 50K less, it's still going to be noticeably below the expected non-farm payroll number for tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Remember, the market's closed Friday. Usually payrolls come out Friday. Today, this week they're coming out tomorrow on Thursday, along with jobless claims unemployment, along with actual unemployment. So we got the actual unemployment percentage, the week-to-week more updated jobless claims unemployment filing report tomorrow at 8:30, and then we also have the NFP report, which includes government payrolls tomorrow at 8:30. And again, be here. We're gonna stream it all live as soon as it drops. But it's gonna be really interesting leading into tomorrow. It's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, I've seen those emails too, Mama Pawn. They're basically saying AI has some type of self-preservation, which I guess I understand. You know, and again, I've gone into it before. And again, I'm gonna preface this with, you know, this is an interesting conversation. But like, if you look at the simulation theory, which basically states that if it's possible for us one day in the future to create virtual reality that's indistinguishable from what we currently see out of our eyes, then it's actually much, much more statistically probable that we're already in that simulation. And I think with AI coming out, you can kind of see how that might happen with things like No Man's Sky. I talked about this a week or two ago, but No Man's Sky is a video game where there's like countless and countless universes that you can go to, and there's different beings on those universes. Now imagine you implanted AI reality into those, beings on some of these universes in that video game, and they could think for themselves and do it themselves. They might sit there and wonder, hey, how did I get here? What am I doing here? And if AI gets better and better and better, which is going to get better and better over the next 10 years, 15 years, it's going to get exponentially better. That's when you really start to see it become more and more plausible. And I think it's kind of scary, to be honest. Because then you got to look around and question whether people are real or whether you're just sitting in a simulation. I think it kind of messes with your head a little bit. I'm not saying I believe any of this, but I think it's, with the rise of AI, it certainly looks more plausible. I'm not saying it's probable, but it looks more plausible or more probable that that's what, All right, chat. Hey, here's the opening bell. Let's see what we get. We're all the way back up to the 200 exponential. We're at 661s right now, so we're already back up there. Let's see if we hold. Well, you gotta wonder how many. If that is true, how many layers is there? Like, we could get to a point where it's a simulation and a simulation and a simulation and a simulation. And that's the real mind bender, I think, is if that is true, what layer are we in? And I think it doesn't really cancel out religion either. Because I think if you read a lot of religious texts, regardless of which ones, in the context of a simulation, I think it actually makes more sense. Here's the opening bell. We're at 663s, 662s. Let's see what happens. Tesla down to 310s. All right, so look, let's watch 675. We're over the 200 exponential right now. Watching gold. We're too close to the open for me to attack this 675 level, but if we weren't so close to the opening bell, or so close after the opening bell, I might attack it, because look at that rejection here. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm not saying I believe any of this. I think it's an interesting conversation, though. I don't know. All right, we're at 675s. Let's watch Tesla. Tesla at 312s. Over the 200 EMA, under the volume weighted average price. Previous closing price right around 300 for Tesla. I think we also should watch Apple at the opening bell because Apple got upgraded, went all the way up to over 210s, and now it's falling down since the opening bell. So we'll see. Why are you holding your hand out sideways? Oh, thank you for... I was wondering what Mythic Teddy said, Mama Pawn. I had no idea what he was saying. I'm holding my hand out sideways like this because it's more comfortable because it's propped up on a chair. Can y'all even see that? Oh, yeah, y'all can. It's more comfortable. I've been sitting here for 2 hours now, so trying to stretch, move. Look at 675, man. Top 3 greatest leveler in the world right now. Look at that thing. Let's watch 650 down here too. Look at 650 hold too, man. Listen, my levels are just good. Worst ever. Don't copy me. But I gotta start. I gotta listen to Pawn and do that limit order scalping system to see how well that would work. I bet you it would work pretty well. It's not gonna work every time, but I think if I gave a rating system to the levels in which I think it would hold more or less, and only attack the higher probability levels based off of a couple different conditions, I think it'd probably work pretty well. Like, only attack the current trend. Look at that rip. Alright, let's watch. We got a couple big resistance levels, 695 and 7 above us. We're over 675 as well. We're over the 200 exponential also, guys, on the NASDAQ here. Going to the weight room. I was thinking about going train jiu-jitsu out here, but jiu-jitsu has a thing where you can go to other gyms and pay like a fee and then train. The problem is where I am now, there might not be anybody there, is what I'd worry about. Alright, so we went down to 675, bounced directly off of it. Apple's starting to retrace back up. Let's see if it does. Tesla's still under 310, but it looks like it's pretty sideways. I hurt my knee a couple weeks ago, Mythic. It was really strange. Whenever it doesn't hurt to put pressure on my left knee, but it hurts to bend it. Like if I bend my knee at a right angle backwards, it hurts. Alright, so now we're back under 675. Here's the 200 exponential. Well, don't bend it that way? Well, yeah, it's hard, but that means I can't run. I can't train. It feels better now, though. Apple's starting to creep up though. Tesla coming down. Tesla's almost at that 200 exponential. So I might buy this little dip here with a couple contracts just to start the day. Maybe add some down up to 5 down to the 200 EMA. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we got 4 micros. We took a little bit off. It's not really holding up there, that was the problem. That's better. Alright. I'm gonna go just cut that right there. We made money. Nice. Okay. Kind of slow building it up. Alright, look, here's 675. See if it taps that and gets over it. So look, it rejected right there at 675. Here's the 200 exponential. Bouncing off of it. Apple's ripping up, and so that might cause the market to run. Oh, we had manufacturing PMI for Canada come out just now. It should have been at 45. Previous was 46. Let me make sure we don't have any news today. I don't think we have anything else relevant dropping, but I just want to make sure. No, that's it. All we got is today is, yeah, that's it. All right. Is Yellowstone MTV? It's Paramount. I guess Paramount is MTV. I like Yellowstone. All right, so we're starting to head back up here. We're at almost 7. I like Yellowstone, but I thought the last couple seasons got a little boring and predictable. You know. All right, Apple ripping up now. Let's watch 22/7. I like the old ones. I like 1923 was good. I watched that one, and I liked 1883. I thought that one was good. I like season 1 to 3 of the original Yellowstone. But after that, especially when what's-his-name left, it got kind of old, predictable, and you kind of knew what was going to happen. All right, so look, we're rejecting here at this resistance level. We're still watching 22/7. We're at 694s. Yeah, Kevin Costner. Alright, so we're still moving up to test 22/7. Apple's still pushing up. Tesla bounced back, but it's at the VWAP level, so we'll see if that holds. I was supposed to get Mitch on some streams this week. But I'm just traveling right now, and so... Alright, so we're over 22/7. So we are now actually above where ADP data showed up. So we are now actually over where ADP showed up. Interesting. I kind of want to short, but we're so close to the previous all-time highs. I don't know. Mitch is my friend, man. I went to his wedding. Like, he's a good friend of mine, man. I've known him for a long time. Just a good dude. Knows his stuff, too, in terms of stocks. Yeah, Tiny. Tiny's been around for a long time, too. Yeah, we've come all the way back up. We're over 22/7s now. This is mostly Apple running at the opening bell. So, like, look at Apple run. Apple's up to 211s right now. And so this is Apple running. It got upgraded. It was either yesterday or early this morning by an analyst. And so Apple's been moving up really nicely from it. It's at 22/7s. Yeah, NVIDIA running too. Here, if we take a look at it, I can see it on the other. NVIDIA back up to 155s. All-time highs on NVIDIA are 159. So if NVIDIA starts pressing up here, it's got some room. I'm still tempted to short, to be honest, but the momentum's a little too strong now. And so I'd probably just wait for a pullback instead. Maybe I should have shorted. going to short a little piece of this. Just a small little trade. See if we can find it down to the 200 exponential. We'll maybe add to it. There we go. All right, we're going to add a little bit to this. Hold the rest. Try to hold it break even, but I'd like to see a move closer to the 200 exponential here. It's too big of a retracement back up. I don't want to get stuck in it. I can maybe try to short into this actually. We can take some size here. Let's see if we reject this level up here. We're already very green on the day, so even if we fail, it's not going to be the worst thing ever. I just want to see if we reject this here. 690s. There we go. It's a rejection. But it retraced back up pretty quick. There we go. I turned my entry into resistance. We'll take a piece of that off just to less worry about it less, but we ended up losing like 40 bucks. Did we lose that much? Yeah. Now we're flat. I'm gonna take a piece off here, just lock it in. Since this has gotten bought up a couple times, so it's not like too much risk. I'm gonna get out here. It's just pushing up a little bit too strong. We lost about $50 there, but that's our first losing trade in a while, I think, though. Look at this. Yeah, like we've had all these green trades. This is the string of exits that we did. We lost about 50 bucks or so, whatever that was. Could have held it too, I think. This 94 level did reject. Watch Tesla here, though. Tesla gets over the VWAP, it might run. Yeah, 200 exponentials going up a little bit too. I'll try to short this, but there's some risk in it. We haven't really traded a lot since the opening bell, so I'll try to jump back in, see if we fall down. I want to see if this level rejects here. Not too strong. We'll wait. I don't want to trade against the trend too much. Kind of trending sideways. Is there a high-pitched noise on stream? Is there really? Might be my computer. Okay, appreciate it. So I did get out of these positions. It looks like that was the right move. Look at the NASDAQ rip here. Let me check breaking news. Company spokesperson says Microsoft's latest round of layoffs is going to impact less than 4% of the total workforce. BlackRock now holds almost 700,000 Bitcoin, worth $74 billion for its spot Bitcoin ETF. Fitch Ratings said trade war and policy uncertainty undermine 2024 global credit outlook.
Is this Apple that pushed? Yeah, so look, this is Apple driving the market at the opening bell. We're up to 212s. I have to look at some above levels now. I think Apple's still running. Yeah, it's probably my laptop fan that you guys hear. I'm on a laptop right now. See, I'm gonna look at 725 right here. There we go. Alright, that's good. Made another $30 back. I like Hims as a company. I think it's up a lot though. So I like Hims as a company, but it's up a lot is the issue with it. So it's not really my favorite time to buy it, if that makes sense. Not an investment professional, not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment, trade smart. I can't guarantee anything. Read the bottom of the screen. But, hey, later, Tiny. Have a great day. Good luck. Where's Hims at right now? How big did it pull back? I mean, honestly, this is a pretty big pullback, actually. Still down some, too. It's still pretty new of a company, though, but I do know of Hims. Right at the highs of the day still. Is this the high of the day? Actually, no, not quite. High of the day is... High of the day seems to be at 779. 779. Or so, right under 780. Give or take. So still got a ways. Good morning. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I mean, if you want to turn it on, you can. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah, here, I can open this too. Thank you. Ugh. Yeah, Hims looks like a pretty good company. It doesn't look terrible. But again, you never know. Where's the VIX at? I'm sure the VIX is down today. Yeah, that does feel better. VIX is down to 17. Still elevated, of course, with all the craziness going on, but not as bad as it could be. Circle's up too much for me to be interested, to be honest, but it's also kind of crazy. And I said this, to be fair. When Circle was 300, I said this, and I was thinking about buying a put option, if you guys remember. I just never ended up kind of biting the bullet and buying it. I should have bought a put option on it, but it's alright. At this point, the pullback's too large. It might be a dip buy here. I don't know. It's a momentum, so you never know if the momentum's going to continue. But yeah. Good luck. If you're in it, I wish you guys the best of luck. Hey, come here. No? Okay. Okay. Yeah, Sassy's cool. Alright, so circle at 183s. Are you talking about like this, the crackle and pop noise that I hear on the song? Are you talking about the crickets? Do y'all hear the crickets? You talking about the... That's the crickets outside. If you don't like cricket noises, I don't trust you. You know. Everybody likes cricket noises. Yeah. Yeah, we're at 723s right now. I'm watching to see if we break 725s. It's possible. It's still testing 625s. A lot of this is going to depend on Apple and Nvidia. Apple's still pumping up. No, I don't charge anything for memberships, or I don't give any extra content for members because I promised everybody I would keep it free, and I don't want anybody to have to pay for content, and so I'm just keeping it free. You know. Nobody can control the crickets. Honestly, bro, I saw this little spy drone that was the size of a mosquito. And apparently, you guys have never seen, what is it, with the remote control. Y'all have never, if y'all don't think people can control crickets or bees, you've never seen Richie Rich. And I think right now it's even, more possible to have some type of remote control cricket. Maybe I'm just being contrarian and arguing just to argue. That's probably true. But still. This guy has the best attitude. I would say the third greatest attitude ever. You know. Alright, so we're starting to dip down. We're at 725s. We're rejecting right there at 725s. We're pretty green on the day, though. I mean, look. These are my trades. The day started here. And so in pre-market, we had a really nice little string of trades. Look at all these. And then today, I mean, the last few trades have been okay, but we're still very green on the day, by the way. Like, you can kind of just see how many green versus red trades. It's been break even the last 20, but then this was basically one losing trade out of 20. So still very green. And my levels are holding. Look at the 725 level reject here. Apple's still ripping though, so I don't trust the pullback, but for sure, bro, you are a cool cat. Are you Brazilian, Nicholas? I know the Silva. Just curious. I trained jiu-jitsu, BJJ, so like that's why I'm like, hey, you know. Portuguese and Brazilian, nice. Well, what's up, Nicholas? How you doing, man? Honestly, I'm gonna miss training while I'm up here, but I could probably use the break. My knees hurt. My leg hurts. All right, let's watch 22.7 for a pullback area, but a lot of it's going to depend on what Tesla does here, or if Apple or Tesla bounce. So let's watch 22.7s. Nice. Hey, well, welcome, man. Apple going to hit 215 and reject? Maybe. Kind of a sideways range. I'm definitely getting old. I mean, I still beat up on brand new white belts. I don't think I've tapped to a white belt. Well, actually, when my leg was hurt, my friend Lance, who's like a very, very good white belt, tapped me. But he doesn't really count because he's not a normal white belt. Aside from him, I don't think I've tapped to a white belt since I got my blue belt. My pride's too high for that, you know. I can never let that happen right now. All right, look, where did we bounce? We bounced right at 22.7. And now that's a big green candle. Let me see if there's any news came out. All right, so Punch Bowls Weiss says NC Rep Murphy airing big concerns with reconciliation bill this morning. I'm having a hard time getting to the point where I can support the Senate package, end quote. Murphy says he needs real guarantees on how the $50 billion rural hospital fund will spend, and that money will go to poor hospitals that really need it. Quote, I'm in kind of a unique situation because I actually still practice and still take care of patients. The district that I represent is one of the poorest districts in the country, end quote. That's a lie, trailer. Maybe karate blue belt. But no, I'm not 40. Not yet. I'm in my 30s. My mid 30s. Hey, what's up, Franklin? Yeah. You look 25? I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you. There's always a silver lining in things. When I was 18, I looked like I was freaking 12. And so, now that I'm in my 30s, hopefully I keep looking young, but I'm getting old for sure. And I think the camera hides some of my wrinkles and stuff, to be honest. So, if you saw me in person, you might not think I look 25, but maybe. I don't freaking know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely scared of 40 right now. Maybe when I'm 40, I'll shave my beard. Alright, so we're still over 22.7s. We're watching for Tesla. Tesla's under the 200 exponential, but it's right at 305, which looks like it's a level. Apple at 212.50s. Still trying to hold here. Listen for bone. Yeah, dude, honestly, if I bend my knee, I hear a distinct pop. Like, if I bend my knee right now, it sounds like Henry in Rookie of the Year after he broke his arm, and the doctor's like messing with it. It's like a like it's hard to explain. That's the best way I can describe it. Most of y'all are probably too young to get that reference, but it makes this weird tightening type of noise every time I bend my knee. It's very strange. All right, so we bounced at 22.7 again. Very tight range, so my hands are kind of off. I don't want to trade this, to be honest. Also, again, check out Top Step. Beautiful way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose money, and so you can get funded 50K, 100K, 150K, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K, and if you fail, you lose $50, $100, $150, depending on which one you choose. It's just it's a structured environment where you're still risking something and you can learn how to trade with some risk, but not the full extent of funding your own account, 10, 20, 30 grand. And it just makes sense. In the futures market, you can day trade, no PDT rule. You can use Top Step X, 0 commission. Just a great way to learn. You can check out the link pinned at the top of the chat as well as the description. Shameless plug. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them. But I'm going to go ahead and plug now since there's just a bunch of quiet going on. Yeah, BJJ is really fun, Rod. It genuinely is really fun. And you don't have to, like, you can start late. One of my gym nemesis is a guy named David. This dude's 44, started training right around when I started trading. So I started trading in my mid-30s. He must have started trading in his, like, early 40s. This dude is a freaking bulldog, bro. This dude, great wrestler. He said he didn't wrestle in high school. And he will just, like, him and I go pretty back and forth. Like, we're very, very even, you know. But the point is, my gym nemesis is 44, you know? And I'm kind of mad about it, because this dude is just good, you know? Alright, so we just broke, we're getting close to highs. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. I respect it, Nathan. I appreciate it. David's honestly a genuinely nice guy, though. He's really nice. He's a doctor, you know? So he's genuinely a nice guy. Yeah. Alright, so again, we're still sideways. We're at the top of the range. So Tesla has not had an upward trend since the opening bell. And so Tesla giving back a lot of the gains it made from its delivery numbers that dropped right at 9 a.m. Still falling. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here, I think, guys. And so again, check out Top Step if you want to help support the channel. Beautiful way to learn how to day trade. No PDT roll. I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. You'll have a great day. Be safe in this market, guys. NASDAQ's pushing up, but we do have payrolls tomorrow, and so be here at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We do have payrolls dropping live 8:30. Just be ready, because these payroll numbers, if they show up even anywhere close to as bad as the ADP numbers, market's probably not going to like it. Although it might increase the odds of rate cuts. We also have jobless claims unemployment, which is a week-to-week updated form of unemployment filings as a report. And so it's a little bit more updated look at it. We also have something else to come out tomorrow. So just be ready tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got unemployment, the actual unemployment percentage as well. It's expected, I think it's expected still at 4.2%, but let me make sure. It's expected at 4.3%, so it's expected to jump up. Really interesting report at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Y'all be ready. I love you all. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate it so much. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day. Appreciate the love. Yeah, I'm going to go enjoy my vacation. But yeah, y'all be good. Have a great day. Not an investment professional. Not liable. If you lose, don't copy me. No idea what I'm talking about. I'll see you guys.